Good morning, everybody. This is Becky Heil, as Amanda said, and I am here today with my colleague Amanda, the library resource technician from the Northwest District, and our guest presenter today is Jay Willis from Mometrix. Most of you probably remember, I think it was last summer, that the state library announced our partnership with Iowa Workforce Development, and that we were going to be providing for every library in the state the test prep, I don't know, platform called Mometrix. So Jay has done a couple of webinars for us before about how to use it and what it's there for. It was put on most of the websites of the public libraries in the state, so your patrons should have access to it. But I think now we're at the point of trying to figure out, how do we make sure that our patrons know about it, know what it is? I mean, they're going to hear Mometrix and not have any idea what that means, even if it's something they could be using. So Jay is going to walk us through some of the ways that we can do some marketing and the best ways to get your patrons to be able to use this product. Please put questions in the chat. I will be watching for that. Jay, would you prefer to be interrupted with questions, or do you want to wait till the end?
I'd probably wait to the end just because
Okay,
it makes more sense. And some of them may be answered as I go through it too. That might be,
perfect. Perfect.
that makes
All
sense.
right.
But I'll have
So,
plenty of time at the end though.
okay, great. All right. Thank you. And questions about the product itself too, not just the
Mhm.
marketing piece. So if they've got questions, they've been using it for a while and they have a problem. All right. So I will let you take over now. You can go ahead and share your screen,
All
and
right.
I will be off camera in the background.
Okay. All right. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right one here. Okay. Can everyone see my screen that has it's
Yep.
blue?
Yep.
Yep, you're
That's
good.
We
my
are
metrics.
seeing it.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right. So thank you for joining me this morning. I am, I don't know if you heard us chatting before. I'm also excited about fall. Down in Southeast Texas, it looks a little different than it does in Iowa for sure, but I do enjoy the cooler weather. So why I'm here today, I'm going to talk about, if I can get my slide to advance. Here we go. So we're going to talk about helping patrons achieve their dreams, which sounds a little lofty maybe, but by promoting your Mometrix eLibrary resource. And so just a recap, some of you may have heard me speak at one of the other webinars, but just to tell you all who I am, Jay Willis. I have been with Mometrix since February of 2009, so for quite a while. And I actually was born in Marshalltown, Iowa. So I had a chance to spend a lot of time in Iowa growing up. I grew up in Northwest Missouri. We moved to Maryville shortly after I was born, like I was maybe a year old. But most of my family was in Britt and Story City, Jewell, Webster City, and now pretty much just all Ankeny and Des Moines. And so they've kind of centrally grouped around that area. So it's kind of fun getting to work with the whole state of Iowa because I've been all over the state and know it really well. I have family there still. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Why visibility matters. That's kind of the key focal point, I guess, is visibility. We're going to talk about 5 proven best practices from real libraries. I'm going to present to you some ready-made marketing materials that you can use right away. You may already have these, you probably do, but I'm going to share them with you just in case or as a reminder. Some quick ideas for staff, schools, and community partners. And then, of course, open it at the end for question answers and discussion. So our mission. So back in '02 is when the company started. And our mission back then, the company owners just noticed that a lot of their friends and family members who were well qualified, very intelligent people, but for whatever reason, they didn't test well. And so the goal since that time has been to sort of reverse engineer the exams and boil down the mountains of information that people could be tested over and just give you the golden nuggets, like the stuff that's most critical, that's most likely to actually be on the exam, and couple that with some great test taking strategies and study tips. So really the mission that we have kind of crafted, honed in on is we exist to educate and empower people to achieve their maximum potential so they can serve others and provide for themselves and their families. And I know we all are here. We all work because we need to keep the lights on and put food on the table. But beyond that, I think all of us want to feel like we're doing something significant and impactful for the greater good. And so, with test prep, I feel like a lot of these exams stand in the way, or they're between a person and where they are now and where they want to be long term. And so, really, our mission is to help people get through that. And then, of course, you have a fantastic opportunity as librarians too. You're a conduit. Your role as a conduit between the information and the people who need the information, and you can help connect those. And so I know that you probably have a relatively thankless job, and yet you really can make a significant difference with the patrons that you serve. So what started with just one ACT study guide way back in 2002 expanded to where now I don't know of another test prep company that offers as many exams as we cover. We cover over 1,000 different exams. It's actually closer to 1,400, but that number fluctuates a little bit sometimes, and so I want to keep it low. But it's over 1,000 different exams that we cover total. So why are we here? I'm not usually necessarily like a huge fan of meetings. Like I have lots of meetings in the company. I'm on an executive team here, and I guess I was just sort of thinking like for the people who are here, which thank you so much for your time and for coming and joining. I really do think that this can be very impactful. Like what we're going to talk about today can be very helpful to your patrons. But I always just think like for the audience, I would be thinking like, what's the point of this? Why am I here? And so, I think for many people, an exam is the final step, like I mentioned, between where they are and where they want to be. And test preparation, and I'll be happy to provide the documentation on this. I wanted to kind of keep this short, but we have a lot of research that shows how effective test preparation is. It makes a very measurable difference in helping students succeed and get a better score on the exam. Your library already provides access to this powerful resource that removes that barrier, or at least helps students overcome that. And the main reason, this is really the key. The main reason that patrons don't use this resource, it's really pretty simple. It's just because they don't know about it. Because honestly, if there are people out there taking tests, they want something that's going to help them prepare for those exams. But the main reason that they don't use it is just because they don't know it's there. So by helping more people discover this resource, you're directly contributing to their educational and career success. This is where like talking about how you're a conduit between the student and the information, and you can help provide a resource that they need at the right time that will help them. And we have tons of success stories, like lots of stories of people who they took a test multiple times, didn't do well on it, and then used our materials, and they ended up, getting the score that they needed. And those are just really meaningful, impactful stories. And I know that there's a lot of those out there, and many people that never actually even send in those stories that have that experience. So anyway, that's why we're here today, is just to talk about that. I hope to make it kind of fun and interesting at least, but also impactful. That's my goal. So. And my slides may not cooperate the way I'd hoped. Here we go. Okay. So why visibility matters. All right. So what we did, we have we have several hundred libraries who subscribe in addition to the statewide accounts that we have. And we were noticing a trend that regardless of the size of the library, some libraries had really awesome usage on a per population basis, or FTE if it's an academic library, and others didn't have such great usage. And we were like, what's the difference? It's the same resource, and it doesn't seem to be demographic related. It just seems to be some get more use than others. So we actually sent out a survey. To our top 25, we sent out a survey just asking some questions like, hey, how do you get so much usage? What are some key things that you do to help increase your usage? Because you guys are, knocking it out of the park. You're doing a great job. So we put all these together, and the responses that we got, and we basically just came up with like the top. Today, I'm just going to talk about the top 5. What do you call it? The top 5 things basically that people do that get high usage. What they do differently, and so. What we found, though, just to kind of boil it all down, and I'll get, more granular, but to boil it all down, the biggest thing was visibility, not budget or population. It was just making it present, making it visible to the people who needed it. That was really the biggest key factor in getting higher usage out of this resource. The patrons can't use what they don't know exists, and so just making it visible. The words I was looking for was best practices. So the top 5 best practices. And number 1, add it to your website. So this is, I know you all have probably already added it to your website, obviously, but I would just say that if it's in a place that's not visible, if it's not in an easy to find place or maybe a logical place, and what I mean by that is, ask yourself, if I were a test taker coming to my website, um, how would I find this resource? How would I look for the resource? And put it in a place that it's obvious, like, and I'll talk about that. So maybe create a test prep and career resources page or a LibGuide and include what it is, what's inside it, and then example exams. And so, for your library, you probably know which exams that people tend to take more often at your library. It could be the TEAS, HESI, NCLEX, could be GED, SAT, ACT, even some of the civil service exams. There's so many different exams out there, and each library, it seems like, has, there's kind of the big ones that everybody, they're just major market exams like MCAT, LSAT, SAT. But sometimes, based on, like, what population you serve, if there's a plant nearby, or if there's some kind of industry nearby that where people have to take certain tests, what those are. And so I would highlight that, make sure we have it, which we probably do, but make sure we have the exam. And then if we do, highlight that wherever you list out our resource, maybe just in parentheses, like, here's some of the exams that they cover, and mention the things that actually matter to them. Best practice number 2, add it to your catalog. So one of the reasons that we provide MARC records, and everyone should have those, or at least have access or know how to get your MARC records. If not, please contact me afterwards, and I'm happy. Every library has their own unique URL, their own web address where they can pull up MARC records on demand. So it's always going to be fresh and the most up-to-date MARC records you can get. But load those up, because that makes it so that the patrons can discover Mometrix by searching the test names, and a whole lot of other keywords that we put in the MARC records as well. And then that way they appear alongside the print study guide, so that, if they are looking for a specific exam, not only will they see the print products, but they'll also see the digital resources as well. Best practice number 3, partner beyond the walls. So that just means, like, I'll talk about this, but look for ways to extend the information, let people know that are beyond just the library itself. So what do I mean by that? For public libraries, you could talk to the adult ed programs, talk to job offices, workforce centers, GED and career fairs if you're already going there. Local schools and counselors. So I'm not necessarily advocating you do a whole bunch of extra work here, but if you are in communication with these places, or even if it's just the matter of sending a quick email and saying, hey, just so you know, your local library has these resources, this database, that does help increase usage. And a lot of these places are looking for test prep resources, but they just probably don't know that you have them. And so letting them know, just a quick email, is a great way to get the word out. And then for academic libraries, tutoring and advising centers, career services and testing offices, faculty and nursing and education. Nursing and education departments are huge. They're usually really interested in test prep resources for the nursing entrance and exit exams, for education, the teacher certification exams that they have to take, praxis, and lots of different things they usually have to take. So just letting them know it's here. This is a resource that's available to you. I mean, everybody in the state can use it, so it's pretty easy to get to. They just need to know it's there. Best practice number 4, use the marketing bundle. So if you don't have this yet, I'm going to put the link to it in the chat, so you'll have that at the end of actually, I'll do it here in just a second. But we put in there flyers, posters, bookmarks, web banners. You can feel free to customize those, make them relevant to your library, change some stuff around, and then get those in the hands of your patrons. We also have in there some social media graphics for Facebook and Instagram that you can post. Some templates you can customize if you want to put your logo on there, QR code, or a link. And then so let me actually put this URL into the chat. Oh, Amanda already did. Thank you. uh, so let's see here. Very good. Oh, hold on. Okay. So best practice number 5, keep talking about it. So, I mean, we're doing this. I think this is fantastic. But this is just one time. Maybe we'll do something similar to this like once a quarter, but we'll probably talk about different things. The main thing is keep it front of mind, keep talking about it, keep letting people know that it's here. Repeat seasonal promotions. So there's different exams have different seasons. There's different times that you'll have a higher number of your population take exams than others. So maybe promotions like the GED in the spring, TEAS in the summer, SAT, ACT, Praxis in the fall. Just keep it, different seasons, letting people know, hey, we have test prep for this exam if it's that season for that particular exam. And then mention Mometrix in orientations, emails, newsletters. Just anytime you send out an email, not anytime, but as often as you can, remind people that this resource is here. And then encourage staff to reference it in patron conversations. So if you're somebody's checking out, let them know, hey, we have test prep resources, especially if they're checking out something that's nonfiction, or some kind of technical materials. They might be interested in knowing about some test prep resources and that they have online already available to them. So just mainly keeping it in the conversation. So this is a piece of seasonal marketing that we put together for this fall. You probably have seen it, and just we're planning on doing this every quarter. In fact, at the end, we'll talk about and get some. I'm going to actually brainstorm with you all, and we say y'all a lot. I hope that's okay. Growing up, I said you guys, and now I say you all, y'all, quite a bit. I found myself, but this is a marketing piece that's season specific. And we plan on doing this every season just to make it so it's something that you can put in front of your patrons to remind them that this resource is here. So quick recap, best practices. All right, this is one you don't have access to, I don't think. And so I'm going to share this with you. If my chat will pop up, but it's not. Okay, you know what? I'll wait till oh, there we go. Okay. All right, here we go. So there's best practices. That's actually the document we put together based on the responses from some of our highest use libraries that we work with. So you can check that out and see if you can get some tips, some tricks, some ideas that might help you market this resource. So just to recap, put it in a highly visible place on your website if it's not already. Just think about what makes sense. Where should this go? Where will people find it easily? Add it to your catalog if you haven't already. Add the MARC records, make it easy for people to find if they're looking for some kind of test prep. And then promote it through partners outside of the walls of the library, like try to get the word out to people who also might have interest in test preparation. Market it regularly with provided materials. And so what we provide, the marketing bundle that you have the link to, the seasonal stuff, all of that, just use it and it helps get the word out. And then I just remember that what you do matters. Like, I know you know this, but it just, what you have an opportunity to make an impact to help people who are looking for something. So these people, a lot of, these people who are taking tests, they're looking for resources. They need resources, but if they don't know about it, they can't find it. And so you have a great opportunity to make an impact with the people that you serve just by letting them know this resource is here and available to them. They don't have to go out and buy it. It's already provided for them. So just remembering that you can make a difference and that this, you just letting people know about this can do that very thing. So let's see here. All right, so then this is my contact information if you don't have it already. My email address, my phone number. You're welcome to give me a call, send me an email. I made a little note here to discuss marketing themes and timeline suggestions. So the thing that that you saw earlier, the pumpkin, the fall theme, I had talked about providing something like that every season or every quarter. And so I did want to discuss kind of different, timeline suggestions for that. Before I do though, I wanted to just see what kind of questions people have. Open it up for questions, comments, any thoughts that you all have.
So we did have one question from Wendy about the seasonal bundles. It sounds like from what she said that the directors or whoever is whose name is on that gets a quarterly piece of information that so they can go and access statistics and some of the rest of those things. Will those seasonal bundles be sent out at that time as well?
Well, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay,
That's kind of what I wanted to brainstorm about and talk to you about to figure out, a timeline of those, what kind of themes that you would like, and just sort of brainstorm while we're here to figure out what makes sense.
great. Thanks. Anybody else have questions for Jay at this point? All right, Jay, you see the one there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so I'm doing a presentation for a
question.
homeschool program. What ages of testing? What's the youngest age group? So our materials go all the way from K through 12. There's nothing we have that would be pre-K, but we have some materials that even start in first grade. Um, so maybe not K, maybe it's 1 through 12, but we go all the way up. And so um, I believe there's a K through 12 section in the catalog, I think. And if not, I can follow up. I'm happy to follow up. You want to shoot me an email, and then I can send you kind of like all of our K through 12 things. But certainly, so we sort of do a hybrid. Like our kids go to a classical education model school, so they're on campus 2 days a week, and then at home 3 days a week. And the main things that they're focusing on are going to be like the ACT, SAT, PSAT, the CLT, that exam. Those are kind of the main ones. But we also have, like Common Core, which um, I don't think those are as prominent now as they once were. In Texas, we have the STAR exams. So, but we do, yeah, we cover K through 12 for sure.
So this is Becky. I'm just curious, nosy maybe. What the heck are they testing first graders on? Do you off the top of your head, do you know
Well, I
what
mean,
might
it's
be
like
out
the
there?
English. I don't even, I don't, because we have so many products, I'm not like an
Right.
expert
Okay.
on any of them really. Because, there's just so many of them, but I just know that we've had people order them. In fact, there's a school in Florida. It's a private school. It's a Catholic school, actually. They order our Terra Nova products. And maybe it's not first grade. I think it starts in second grade, but they've ordered a bunch of them. And so, yeah,
Cool.
I don't really know.
I
Feel
was
free to
just
go play
I
around with them though. I mean, just,
I was just thinking that's what I need to do now.
yeah, just go check them out
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Then there's a question from Louise up about sort of the top 10 resources that people use. What are the ones that you see people using the most?
So I could put together a list. I could say off the top of my head, I know what the most common, probably I could tell you the top five. I don't know if I could give you the top 10. Some of it, once you get past five, it really sort of does switch to more regional. And so that's where I kind of get lost. But like the NCLEX for the nursing exit exam, that NCLEX RN and PN, HESI, HESI, the TEAS, those are all nursing exams. SAT, ACT, the MCAT, the LSAT, um, PSAT, all those are kind of our main ones. I'm happy to send over a list. I don't have one kind of ready to go, but I'm happy to send over a list. In fact, I think I could probably even look at the libraries in Iowa so far and look at the usage statistics, even in your state, and tell you the top 10 based on what people have used so far since July 1st when we launched.
I kind of like Louise's second section to that though then. So what would be most beneficial for them to sort of promote? If we know these are the things that people across the country are using, we would like to promote those particularly because it might be a little easier marketing piece, I think, then. So I think that was an
Yeah.
interesting part.
Let me just, I'll put this together real quick.
And then while you're doing that, I'll just thank you to to Cheryl. State standards for the different grade levels. So that kind of makes sense. So whether it's Common Core or whatever those standards are, that's kind of what those first, second, third graders are probably
Yes.
being tested on.
Okay, here's a few just off the top of my head, but yeah, I can give you a more dialed in list based on your based on the state of Iowa. So let's see.
Ooh, actually, Louise's follow-up there makes me wonder then, it sounds like from what Brenda just said that we can see the academic use versus the public use. Do
Yeah.
you guys keep track of that as well? I mean, sort of Louise's follow-up is what are the publics using? I mean, okay, ours are our academics are probably using more of the nursing and some of those, LSATs, that kind of stuff. But what are the public seeing the highest usage in? Do you keep those statistics separate?
So each library gets their individual statistics. You at the state level are going to see everybody, but each library gets their own usage statistics, and so they would only really see their libraries, and they are separated out though in the one that we report to the state, and you'd be able to look at that probably pretty easily. It's an Excel spreadsheet or CSV file, but you could sort it that way, or I'm happy to provide information on that as well. But you do get those reports.
So maybe Louise, if you want to follow up with Brenda or me or whoever, um, we can sort of look at that. What are some of those popular things in the public library field so that you can start working on promoting some of those. Thanks, Jay.
Sure.
Oh, what about
What's hot for
nationally?
Brooklyn?
So that goes back then to, okay, we can see the Iowa ones. Do you have some national data on that that you could give us
Yeah,
potentially? Okay,
yep, I can pull that up and report back.
great, thank you. Any
Sure
other
thing.
questions for Jay then? Otherwise, if it's all right with you, Jay, I'll go back to, I forgot whose question it was. Wendy's, that you said you kind of wanted to dig in a little bit here. Do the rest of you think that having that seasonal bundle sort of attached to that newsletter or whatever it is that you get on a regular basis, would that be something that would be useful? It sounds like it would be probably for Wendy. Is that the kind of thing you're asking for, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, so we talked about doing this maybe once a quarter and just the seasonal promotion similar to the one we did for the fall, where it was all pumpkins. But the question I had was just that I could provide for my marketing team is like what kind of time frame when you would prefer. I mean, we could do it when the season starts. I mean, if you wanted to go at the beginning of the season. But I feel like you could probably start the winter promotion in the beginning of December, or even right after Thanksgiving. You wouldn't have to wait till, December 22nd. But the question was just when would you prefer to have those? What timeline for the seasonal promotions? And then if there's a specific theme, what that theme would be.
Yeah, I love Wendy. I love that too. When we've got other products that we're using, I think of Bridges, which is constantly putting out things like it's back to or back to school season. Did you talk to your schools when you go to the schools? Here's some bookmarks that you can hand out to the kids, or it's spring, it's time when everybody's taking the ACTs.
Highlighting specific tests at different times. Yeah. Okay.
And then it looks like we've had a couple of questions about, sorry, we're sort of hijacking the thread here, but Are there marketing
Oh, no, you're
materials
good.
specific to homeschoolers?
Hold on a second. Oh, no. I clicked a link. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the question is, are there things specific to homeschoolers? I mean, not really, other than what would apply to wherever you're going to. So, I mean, certainly we have subject specific things like you could, any of the Common Core, if you wanted that for state standards, you could use that for certain subjects like English or ELA, math, all of those, they would be useful for homeschooling. But our focus as a company is on exams. And so really it's just if there's an um, exam that people take, exam that homeschoolers take, then that's what we're going to do is we're going to focus on creating materials for the actual exam itself. And so we actually, well, I say that we just developed an Algebra 1 textbook, and that I believe is available through your subscription as well, your library subscription. You can just search for Algebra 1. Beyond that, though, the materials that we produce are geared toward helping them prepare for a set exam. So the exams that most homeschoolers focus on would be the ACT, SAT, like the college entrance exams. Those are kind of the main ones.
That kind of makes me think then to go back to what Christine talked about highlighting the specific tests, which it sounds like that's exactly what you do. I almost wonder if sort of that monthly idea, this month we're here's the marketing materials for this test, next month here's the marketing materials for that test, so that those are out there and available, sort of reminding librarians, this would be a good time of year to look at the ACT test and promote that as well. I don't know if that because somebody else mentioned monthly as well. So
So
I
maybe like
don't
a
want
different
to,
exam to focus on it every month.
right. I'm speaking on behalf of Iowa librarians here, so you guys
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I'm sensing in the comments here.
Okay. Yeah, and we should be able to pull that data, even if it's nationwide data, kind of where are our spikes in demand, and then that
Yeah.
would tell us what we should focus on in which month.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. I think that would be super helpful.
Okay. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm thinking I have not uh, looked at the Google Drive that you sent out before, but I'm thinking I like the idea of sort of that monthly or quarterly reminder. Here's some marketing stuff for you to kind of keep people remembering to do some of this marketing. But I assume that all of the stuff that you've previously done is also still out there. So if I decide I'm working with a group of homeschoolers and I want to highlight 2 or 3 of those tests, I can go out and grab that flyer or bookmark or brochure or whatever it is that you've put together. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the marketing bundle doesn't have a ton of like exam specific materials in it.
Okay,
It's just kind of more of a general, we offer resources for lots of exams. But I mean, I like the idea. I think that's something that we could implement. It would just take a little bit of research on our part, figuring out which exams make the most sense to
right.
highlight, and then just our marketing team putting together something that you could use um, to provide your patrons.
Great. Thank you.
I love these ideas. I was trying to copy and paste, but I can't. It's not letting
I
me do it.
can't either. I was just
I
trying to
I
do
was
that
like,
as
I
well.
don't want to forget these ideas, but like I don't have a way to
I
maintain them. I don't know if you have
I
a chat history on your end that you can
yes, I
maybe
believe that
share.
we can get the chat
Okay,
sent.
that'd be awesome because I'm looking at all these and like, oh, that's a good idea too, you know.
Yep, yep, right. I wrote that down to make
So
sure that
let's
we
see
can do it.
okay, a question here. This is a authentication question. When a person's logging in and it says checking your location, what's it looking for? That I'm located in Iowa. Yes. That is the answer. So how it's set up is it only checks your location when you first set up an account. So when a new user goes to that page, and thank you, Amanda, I appreciate that. When a new user comes to the page, uh, then it's going to prompt them to either sign in using their existing account or sign up for a new account. If you sign up for a new account, that's when it checks your location. So it uses the IP, uses geolocation. I honestly, it's an IT question. I don't know I don't know exactly how they figure out where you're at, but they do check your location. You have to allow it to check your location, or else it's going to deny you access. Only when you're first setting up your account, though. So once somebody has set up an account, then they revisit that login screen. They just sign in. They don't have to set up a new account. When you sign in, it's not going to check your location. It's not going to make sure you're in Iowa. So the thought is you need to be in Iowa to set up the account, or we kind of make the range a little bit broad. So if people are like in Sioux City or something, like, uh, we expand it beyond just the border, like another 5 or 10 miles or something. But once we verify that you're in Iowa, when you set up your account, then after that you can sign in from anywhere. But it's just the initial signing up for it. We check your location. I hope that answers your question. So yeah, we try to make it really broad and easy for people to access because we want to make sure that everybody who lives in Iowa can get to it easily. And so that means as long as they're there when they set up the account, if they go on vacation, they can still keep using it.
That's great. Do you, Jay, have any other questions for our audience about what they would like to see?
Um, I don't think so. Mainly, it was just that the question was about, how we can, if things come up, if you think of other things after this is over, we all walk away. I'm great at that. I always like right after something's over, I leave a conversation like, oh, I should have asked this question. So if you have that, that's why I put my contact information there. Please don't hesitate to email or call me, and I'm happy to field questions. Or if you have other ideas, like we're always looking for ways to improve and make what we do or just get better at what we do. So please share if you have some feedback or questions. But I can't think of anything I haven't thought to ask at this point. It's just figuring out how we could better serve you with our marketing materials.
Then I will throw out the question to the audience members. Any other questions that you have for Jay or other suggestions, as you just said, that you thought of in terms of marketing, or questions about how your patrons are using it, or anybody got success stories? Have you had folks coming in? Um, have you seen an uptick in your usage when you went to the school and handed out bookmarks or whatever? Anybody got success stories to share with us? Excellent. Yep, I love that advice, Lajissa.
Mhm.
When they've got their parent teacher conferences, all kinds of great contact potential there.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And having those pre-done marketing materials is really helpful. Librarians don't have to take the time to put those together themselves.
Yep. So on marketing materials, I'm not going to put web addresses because every library has a different one. So if you do want to add that, and I think we usually send you editable files. So you can add that for your library. You can put this as the web address. Or you can just make it general and say, come find us at your library. And hopefully if it's in a prominent location, they'll find it.
All right. So unless I see something else coming through the chat here, I just want to say first, thank you to the audience, to our librarians who were here. Thanks for coming, and this has been recorded, so it will be on in the Iowa Learns or the Workday Learning, so that people can sign up and see it afterwards. Or since you all have been part of this, you will also have access to that as well. Um, also, let's see what else I was going to say here. Hopefully you all got some really good tips. I think Jay had some really great ideas. I really like their bundles that they're putting together. So I think sort of working together, they're making it easier for you guys to get the word out about this. It's a product that we're really thrilled to provide for Iowans. Um, and I think it's going to be really useful to your patrons. So I hope we can get some good usage out of this. So then lastly, I just want to say thank you to Jay for being here for both of our um, webinars that he's recorded for us now. Because again, it's something that if you've got a new staff member who doesn't know about it and somebody comes in to the circulation desk and says, you know, my kid has taken the ACTs, do you have any books? If your staff member doesn't know that this is available, they walk out without that book because most of our libraries aren't able to provide those print resources. So make sure that your staff is all trained and they all know that this resource is out there and can point folks to it. And I know that was one of the points that Jay made as well. So thank you very much, Jay. We appreciate you being here and doing the recording for us so it's available later.
You bet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.